welcome. Thank you. Woo, got loud. Um, this will be the June 13th, 2023 Lincoln County School Board of Directors meeting. We will welcome you all here tonight. Here we are on June 13th. It's awesome, crazy. So at this time, I would like to go ahead and have the reading of the land and acknowledgement. Is there anyone that would like to read that tonight?
I would like to read it.
Awesome, that would be great. We are celebrating Dr. Gray's last board meeting, so we're going to really make her work.
Well, yeah. Better use this. This is so loud, I don't need it. We ask that you take a moment to stop what you are doing to listen to these words. As we recognize the land that we currently inhabit, no matter where each of us is physically located in Lincoln County, we must understand that we are on traditional homelands and unceded territories of Indigenous peoples. Where we live in Lincoln County, these are the ancestral homelands for the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians. Lincoln County School District acknowledges the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians that consists of over 30 bands originating from Northern California to Southern Washington. The Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians currently occupy and manage 9,310 acres located here in Lincoln County, but is a mere fraction of their original 1855 1.1 million acre Siletz Coastal Reservation. We must remember the people of the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians are and will forever be the first stewards of this land, water, and fish. We acknowledge and recognize the continued sovereignty of the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians and honor their ancestral homelands. We are committed to bringing awareness to their history and the existence of the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians since time immemorial.
Thank you, Dr. Gray. We'll go ahead and establish quorum by roll call. Megan Colley, Peter Vince,
Here.
Centelia McKinley. Mike Rawls is excused, and I am Liz Martin, and I am here, and we have a quorum. At this time, I would like to go ahead and recess into a public hearing for the 2023-2024 approved budget. This hearing is the district committee met on May 23rd, 2023, and approved the 2023-24 adopted budget. A public hearing is required in order to allow for public comment. We will now recess into a public hearing to listen to public comments regarding the 23-24 adopted budget. Do I have anyone that would like to speak at this time?
No,
No. Are you?
you can wait till the LCEA
Yeah.
time unless your topic is completely on the adopted budget. Then you should speak now.
And you should speak now, and we will keep it to 3 minutes.
It's a 3-minute timing.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll time you, don't worry.
Thank you so much. My name is Janice Venture. I'm the Lincoln County Education Association President. Good evening, members of the board. We, the Lincoln County Education Association, have been presenting to you the important work our members do through our educator shout outs. We have many incredible educators in our community doing enriching work, putting student needs first, and making our schools a place where learning is valued and celebrated. It is easy to applaud their work, but valuing our educators means more than applause. I'm here before you tonight to emphasize the critical importance of adequately compensating our educators. The current budget proposal for a 2% cost of living allocation is not sufficient to save our educators from the rising cost of living in Lincoln County. It is widely acknowledged that educators are the backbone of our school system. They play a pivotal role in molding the minds of our children, inspiring them to reach their full potential and preparing them for the challenges of tomorrow. The district's proposed compensation pact does not reflect this. Educators, like any other professionals, deserve salaries that not only recognize their expertise, but are also keep pace with the rising cost of living. Inflation has drastically eroded the value of our earnings over time. making it increasingly difficult for us to make ends meet and provide for our families. We are worrying about basic necessities, and some are even second guessing their career choices due to financial strain. Since we signed a contract in 2021, the Consumer Price Index for the West has outpaced LCA wages by 10%. If this is not addressed now, we will lose good educators. By budgeting for raises that account for the cost of inflation, the school district demonstrates its commitment to retaining and attracting top talent. We must value the experience, skills, and knowledge of our educators bring to the classroom and ensure that their dedication, their passion is met with appropriate compensation. When educators are fairly compensated, they can focus on what truly matters, providing quality education and fostering a supportive and nurturing learning environment for our students. Furthermore, investing in our educators through fair wages is the best investment in the future of our entire community. A highly motivated and well-compensated workforce is more likely to stay in the profession, reducing overturn rates and promoting continuity in our schools. This stability leads to better outcomes for our students as they can form strong relationships with their educators and benefit from consistent instruction and support. We understand that budgetary constraints exist, and the allocation of resources is a complex endeavor. However, we firmly believe that prioritizing competitive compensation for our educators must be a cornerstone of the LCSD's budget. The board must consider creative solutions to explore all available avenues to ensure that salaries are fair and keep up with the increasing costs of living. By doing this, we strengthen our schools and we strengthen our community. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Janice.
Is there any other public comment at this time? Hearing none, I will go ahead and close this public hearing and we'll resume our regular business meeting. Thank you. Yeah, I'm
That's lady.
going to do it later under action items.
Okay.
All right. So at this time, we'll move into introductions.
I believe that we have done some really nice introductions at the beginning of our meeting regarding our retirees, our committees, and our music teachers. I don't believe at this time we probably have any additional introductions.
Okay, thank you. Eddie, do we have any written correspondence? Do we have any blue cards tonight? Okay, having none, we're going to move on into recognition. Karen? Oh, did you want me to do the town hall?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So,
Traditionally, right now, the board, this time of the year in June, we recognize the Tom Moore Memorial Award. And this was given from a community member from Toledo that was heavily invested in our schools and the community. And it's a recognition of people that have given outstanding work to our community. And it's with a great honor tonight that I give the award out to Peter Colley. Peter Colley is from South County and was nominated by Principal Amy Skirvin. He's not able to be here tonight, but I'd like to read his
out
letter.
of the country.
Is out of the country. And it's quite an honor to get this award. I got this award once and it means a great deal to me. Peter has been our volunteer Aspire coordinator since the 2019-2000 school year. During COVID, he managed the online Word and was still able to get Google Meet with kids and create his own classroom for students that were applying for colleges and scholarships. He created a college and career center at Wellport High School with all sorts of information and resources for students, staff, and parents. He recruited volunteers to be mentors to meet one-on-one with students about their future planning. He set regular hours where he could be found daily to help students with their career goals. During conferences, he puts on family information nights to promote the college-going culture. He has taken on the role as a LEO clubs coordinator and started community service projects for our students. Peter has grown Aspire to a commendable program. As Aspire program analyst and access specialist says about Peter, your care and passion for this position is very clear. I love that you want to keep learning and growing in your role, including setting goals to increase your financial aid and scholarship knowledge over the coming year. Peter, your passion for your student success is inspiring. Ms. Skirvin, you are extremely fortunate to have Peter as your new Aspire coordinator. Awesome. So it says, unfortunately, Peter is leaving us after this year. He and his partner are looking forward to a move into retirement community. We will miss seeing his smiling face every day and the snacks. Well, that's important. His energy and organization are contagious. He will be greatly missed. Again, I want to say congratulations to Peter Colley on this wonderful award. It's something that he should feel good about.
You bet. So Chair Martin, it's our intention that in the fall, when we come back together again to present our awardee a gift and a nice plaque, which is what we do for the Tom Moore Award, and be able to have him recognized again in public. So he's just not here for us to do that.
Okay, awesome. So Janice, was that your report for the night or did you? Okay, well,
Come back.
yeah, well, yeah, okay,
Come
let's hear something else. Come on up. Hi, Trevor, how you doing? Good to see you. Good evening.
All right, again, I am Janice Venture. I'm Janice Venture. I'm the Lincoln County Education Association president. And tonight, I would like to introduce you to our new vice president, Mr. Trevor Stewart, who is going to be giving you the educator shout outs tonight. I just wanted to give a real quick shout out to all of our educators before he gets on the specifics. It's the end of the year. It is a rough and tumble time for all of us. And I mean, as stressful as we get, we are all super excited to be here for our kids, to be doing the work. Some of us more and more after hours just to make sure that we get them passing, high schoolers passing. They don't want to do it on their own for some reason. No, some of them are just, they just need that extra support. And I've seen educators throughout the district stepping up and really helping these students to be able to be successful. We're still seeing not the problems, but the difficulties in learning from COVID. And, it is the tireless efforts of these educators who are helping these students to get through that. So that's my big shout out. And then I'll let Trevor do the more specifics. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. As Janice mentioned, I am Trevor Stewart, Lincoln County Education Association Vice President, and I get the fun honor of providing our educator shout outs. First off, we have Jan Dickey, Josh Boudry, and Taya Kasi. Is it Kessie? So I have been Kazi.
Oh,
Yep.
Right.
I have been working really hard on that name because she's joining us at Newport High School next year. They are all three of the aforementioned teachers are at Newport Middle School. Outdoor school this year was exceptional. These humans did so much work, and outdoor school was a great experience for all involved. They are called a dream team. So thank you so much to Jan, Josh, and Taya for all of their work on outdoor school. Next up is Samantha Murphy and the IB English teachers here at Newport High. They just put on a big field trip to Oregon Shakespeare Festival. I know I personally was quite jealous. It was the first time since COVID that they were able to do that. And we heard some great stories, and it was really wonderful to be able to pick that up one more time. Finally, I want to send a shout out to all of our special education teachers, including myself. That feels a little weird to include myself.
I told him to do it.
It's okay.
Our special education teachers are finishing up their final progress monitoring reports and wrapping up their IEPs for the year and passing on their caseloads. Their work has been tireless, and their support for some of our most vulnerable students has been absolutely incredible. So thank you to our SPED department and all of these teachers. Finally, I wish everybody in this room, every teacher at Newport High School, a wonderful and restful and restorative summer. Thank you.
Awesome. Well done. Thank you. You're good team. Yep. No.
Great team.
All right, moving along, consultant reports. We're going to hear from Newport High School and Newport Middle School at this time with area reports. All right, Newport Middle. Woohoo. All right, good. We like it. Do you need some more chairs?
We may need some more chairs for
Go ahead,
number of students that.
There's some in front there.
grab them.
You can have more chairs, but get them yourself.
Yeah.
No, you have blue lips. They're cute. I get blue.
Yep, you blue
Fingers.
fingers, I have blue lips,
5 chairs, perfect.
and I'm not cold.
So the first part of our presentation tonight is going to be student led. So Ms. Kazee is actually here, who was just recognized. And she was a big part of our outdoor school program. So I'm gonna let the students kind of kick off our report just by talking about their experience this year at outdoor school. I believe Newport Middle was one of the only schools to do an overnight outdoor school this year. So, and it was a huge success like you heard about. So let them take it away from it.
Hi, I'm Tia Kazee. We, the 6th grade team at Newport Middle School really wanted to go back to traditional outdoor school. We really wanted to do the camp experience again for these kiddos. And so our team and Jan Dickey took the lead on this. We decided to go to Settle Lake and we camped in cabins for the week. And these kids here are going to tell you a little bit about their experience.
I think one of the most I think that it was really cool that they put on like homemade food and you could get like seconds or thirds or whatever you wanted.
And this is Jacob Bancroft. So we're going to have you guys introduce yourself too first.
I think it was cool that yeah, we got to do seconds and thirds and they really had a lot of options when you got to eat. Like you got to have lots of healthy foods and then like maybe like dessert at the end or something like that.
That's important. Yeah. When you're camping, you get really hungry. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Logan Vargas, and I really liked the counselors because they were very supportive and nice, and they took care of us. And I thought, like, they, I thought, they did such a good job. They were supporting us. They were caring. They were very nice too, and everything was so fun.
Yeah, so I can speak on that too. We had high school counselors from the high school. We took 19 with us and they were in charge of their cabins and they came up with cabin names and chants and skits and it was awesome. And one of them's here, Braylon Williams back there. He is one of our counselors.
A survivor.
A survivor.
I'm Rihanna Silva and the pins, we got pins like after activities we did there was a polar plunge that we did in the morning, like after we woke up. And then there was a safe swimmer one that like if you pass your swimming test or like if you did like if you got into the water and swam, like you would get that badge. There was also a brave bear one, like if you did something like if you like took out a moth of your cabin or something, you would get it. But yeah, there was multiple badges you could earn by doing other activities.
Probably like Gaga Ball was like the
Yeah.
most coveted
Yeah.
one for
Gaga
sure.
Ball was
Yeah,
the
Gaga Ball
best.
was something new we learned that can't. Okay.
I'm Daphne Grant and one of the cool things we did at camp was we made skits and like the counselors would like help us perform them and we got to perform them at the campfires. And at the campfires, we'd have like s'mores every night and we would have like 3 to 4 s'mores every night and we got sick of them by the end.
Wow, sounds like a great experience. How many nights did you camp?
4 days and 3 nights.
Wow, that's
Like a real outdoor. school.
that is
That's a
awesome.
real outdoor school. That's
Yeah.
what it's for.
Yeah, and it was cool to go to Settle Lake, something different off the coast.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Did you get some good weather?
We had awesome weather.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like
good,
70.
good.
So yeah.
I've done it in the rain before.
Yeah, it's great. There's campfire cooking too right there. So
Oh, wow, what a,
That one,
I did that one. Yeah.
got to make muffins and like
Yeah, they did boating. We had my old teacher, Ollie Richardson, came over with us and he did boating and swimming. So it was awesome.
what a great
Yeah.
experience. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for
having us.
putting that together. They'll remember that forever.
Yes. And we're looking
Yeah,
forward to
thank
more.
you.
Thank
You did a nice job. Thank you. No.
All right, we have a break to help you move on. So we have a short one pager for you.
Thank you.
Just on some highlights
Perfect.
of our year. This does not fit all of the things that we work on, but
Well done.
all right. Good
Would you
evening.
Introduce your team.
Yes, that's first. Yes. First of all, my name is Aaron Baloney. I'm the principal at Newport Middle School.
Denzel Kumar, VP.
And Natalia Aguilar, Vice Principal.
All right, so we're going to just hit on a few of our highlights this year. So I'll take the academic and instruction component. We hit off this year after coming out of our AVID Summer Institute, really focusing on implementation of interactive notebooks as a school-wide learning tool. So our staff is all joined in on that, whether it's digital or on paper. And we did this last year as well, but really this year we were really focused on enhancing our skill and really learning it, using them as a learning tool, not just a storage unit. And I think we made a lot of progress. Some of our staff actually presented at our May 19th professional development on the interactive components. We also have really been focusing on the implementation of professional learning communities this year. We started off pretty small and pretty basic just to get the idea of what we were really working on. And it really took on a kind of a life of its own as staff really learned that they could do a lot more with it. We have a ways to go to be doing PLCs right. But we're on the way. So I think we made a lot of progress this year. I'm happy with the progress and we will soon be doing it perfectly, I think.
I wrote that down.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I won't be there next year, so I'll put it on there. So content language objectives was a big focus for us this year too. Just the clarity of what you are learning for the day from the teacher to the student is a big, it plays a big role in students understanding what they're supposed to be doing for the day. And that clarity from teachers is really important. So we've been working on that throughout the school. So you'll see that in every classroom that you walk in. And then we did a new program this year called Club Catch Up, and it was really focused on helping students get work completion. So we had all students belong to a club, and we had time on Fridays where they either went to club or they went to catch up. And as soon as they were caught up, they went to their club. So it was quite the undertaking. We learned a lot. There's a few things we would do differently next year, but it was really great. Our data shows great improvement of student completion of work, and they really enjoy the activity time as well.
So I'll be talking about PBIS and our efforts at Newport Middle. With the support and instruction and guidance of our district leaders, we've been beefing up our tiered responses in the school, and given just a few examples of that. In our tier 1 team this past year, we included a student on our tier 1 team, and it's been really great to have an 8th grader's voice, student voice represented in our tiered team. That student was Miss Aguilar's son, Daniel, and so it's been really great to have him offer his thoughts on the things that we're doing. And he's not just going, yeah, that sounds good. He's actually providing really great reflective feedback to us and contributing to the team. We've also been working on learning how to look at the data that we have in our school and then responding to that appropriately. For example, in February, we looked at the data and saw that 25% of our referrals were for drugs and alcohol. Our tier 1 team brainstormed that data where none of us were comfortable with that, obviously, and our tier 1 team got to work and found people in our community who offer intervention for that and had them come have an assembly with our grade level teams and our grade level students, sorry. In tier 2, we have done a lot of work in that area. We've been instituting a lot of systems and interventions for our students, which includes check in, check out, check and connect, attendance check-ins, having small groups, and then building in break systems, not just within the classroom, but at a tier 2 level as well, where students can come out of classroom to a space that is monitored for varied amounts of times. Plans are built in with that break space provided for them, which leads into tier 3. Tier 3, we're getting our toes wet in what we do with tier 3. In tier 3 right now, what we're doing mostly is when we have a student there, we're working, which is different from last year, we're working with our school psychologist and our counselor to build individual plans for these students, which includes coming to a break space, which is not in the classroom. As you can see, provided our data for this year, which is reflective of our major and minor referrals. We're very happy to see that we have 80% of our students who have 0 to 1 referral. That is really awesome for us. And at the top there, 8% of our kids who are getting 5 or more. This is still very encouraging to us because last year's data was different.
Yeah.
At the tier 1 level, we had
That's right.
73%.
Yeah.
At the tier 2 level, 16, and at tier 3, 11%. So for us, we're seeing an upward trend, a
Yes.
positive
Turnaround.
trend, which we're
That's
very
exactly
proud
right.
and happy about and excited for
Bravo.
next year.
Bravo.
Awesome.
And then the last part we'd like to talk about is the student experience. So at Newport Middle School, we not only value student learning, which I know is like a big pillar in our building, but also the student experience. So what are students daily on their day-to-day basis experiencing? Belonging, safety, addressing harm when that happens. And in middle school, that never happens. So how do we support students through that? So some of the things that we brought back, which were things that we had done pre-COVID, but COVID interrupted that flow in our building, but we brought those pieces back. The first one is doing some student recognition. In our building, we give Cub Characters Awards 4 times a year, so every quarter, where teachers are encouraged to choose students for a variety of reasons, not only academic excellence, but really even saying things like grit, resilience, compassion, empathy, and highlight them for the skills that they might have, understanding that all students are going to be the top academically, let's say, and get the 4.0 GPA certificate, but they come with other skills also that we must nurture and recognize. So we have done that this year. And then we've also chosen Cub Champions. And in our Cub Champions, we invite their 3 students per grade level and their families to come and have breakfast with our staff. And the staff provide some encouraging words about the students to their families. This year, we actually also started translating that event for our multilingual families.
Wow.
We've been continuing to provide praise connected to our PBIS. So we have Cub coins that our students can earn throughout the day. And those are really just something that we as staff have in our pocket that we're able to give the students and recognizing the little things from picking up a piece of trash to helping a peer open a locker. So as students receive these Cub coins, they're able to put them in their homeroom in like a little container. And once those get filled up by homeroom, they get a reward or a treat of some sort. Restorative practices has been a major push in our building, understanding that students are learning and really the importance of discipline is to teach and to learn. And that is really like our understanding philosophy that hurtful words might be said in middle school, hurtful actions might and will be done in middle school, but how do we address and repair some of that harm? So something that is really resonates with me this year is I've had 6th graders come to me and ask for those restorative chats, knowing that they might have heard a friend or said something to a teacher and they want to talk through that. And that is really, instead of asking like, what is my punishment? They're asking, what can we have one of those restorative chats? And then lastly is student activities. A lot of students are really excited as they start secondary school about things like dances, which we were able to hold this year. And Taya's gotten a lot of recognition, which she deserves, but Taya Kazi is also our leadership teacher, and she works really hard to create some of those really cool experiences for our students. And we've had, I believe, 3 dances this year. We've also held assemblies again where students can be recognized for attendance, for academic excellence, and a variety of other things. And then we've also done some school-wide sports tournaments, so students can actually create their own little teams and then go and have some tournaments, and it's really fun. I'm also building some Cub spirit.
Awesome. All right. Anybody have any questions tonight? Any comments? It's a pretty exciting work that you've got going here. I love it. It's awesome.
Before we excuse this group, I just want to say how much I appreciate Principal Baloney's work. It's been a great 5 years of watching him grow and change and deepen in his knowledge and ability to lead. I am so proud of you that you are going to be our district secondary director next year. It's an honor that you have worked hard for, and I think you're going to be incredible.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel very good about the hands I'm leaving Newport Middle in. I'm excited about Mr. Perez coming up to the
Yes.
building, and I think that this team with Mr. Perez is going to be really fantastic. As you can hear
Yeah.
with these two, the building is in very good hands. So I'm really excited for the ideas and work that they have already planned for next year. So I can't wait to see what they do.
I'm excited to see Marty Perez in his new role at Newport Middle. And yours at the district office.
All right, well,
Thank
thank you.
Thank you. It was wonderful
Good job.
presentation. Good evening.
Yeah, we'll have the students come on
Okay.
first, Alexa and me. So before we present, we have two different student groups. So our first student group, I'd like to present Alexa Saxton, who's our incoming student body president, and Ivan Hernandez, who's our incoming student body vice president. So they will start.
Awesome. Good evening.
Great. Good evening.
Hello, like she said, I'm the incoming ASB president for Newport High School. Today we're coming to report our leadership events throughout the year. We have a quick little video to highlight some of our events.
Oh, they're right.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Well done.
That video was created by Newport's Videography Club. But yeah, it just kind of highlights what leadership is all about and some of our events, like I said, and then some other big things we did this past year was our homecoming week, which is very stressful and important for us. We have a lot of things going on, like our powder puff flag football game, our Ironman volleyball games, and then we have the dance crowning at the game for the court. And then we also have a pep assembly with our cheer team and the band. And that whole week is a lot for leadership. And then in the video, it showed some of our NHS pageant. That event is very important for leadership. We donate lots of money back to the community. And this year we decided to give all the money to our student-based health center. So it's going right back to our school. Yeah, so we had the basketball game, the student versus staff game, and then we had the NHS pageant and the kickoff assembly. But yeah, like I said, just like homecoming week, it's another stressful week for us and a lot of work goes into that. And then we have many canned food drives, sock drives. We sponsor some families during Thanksgiving. We purchase Thanksgiving baskets. And I think this year we sponsored 10 families. this year we brought back the Oregon West Conference Community Service Project, which we have done pre-COVID, but this was our first year doing it again. This year we did a beach cleanup with, I think, 3 or 4 other schools. It was a great event. It was great to communicate with the conference, get some new ideas for next year. We had 3 blood drives with leadership with the aid of Red Cross. We also had another big week, which was Winter Ball Week, which is another dance and more spirit events. But yeah, I think that's everything. Oh, we also did a toy drive for the community, and it was kind of a competition with Taft and Newport One. Just want to add that. But it was a great event, and hopefully we can carry on that tradition. But yeah, I think that's everything. Hopefully next year we can keep all these traditions going, coming out of COVID, maybe add some new traditions.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any Vice President have anything to say?
He wasn't in leadership last year. This is his first year, so.
Welcome aboard. Thank you.
Right, the next student I'd like to bring up is Braylon Baloney, and Braylon is here representing Interact Club. So one of the things that Eddie's email to us said is that you guys wanted to hear from another group besides Student Council. So he's going to come up and talk about a project that Interact did. So I'll let you come on up, and you saw parts of it.
Yeah, hi, I'm Braylon Baloney, and I'm here from Newport Interact Club. This year I was the service project director, so I got to help facilitate some service projects that we did this year, like the mural that you saw in the video. In the fall, we're a service project based club. So in the fall, someone brought up the idea of creating an art piece we could hang in our school. And we really liked that idea. So we kind of ran with that, and we wanted to incorporate the 7 different elements that Rotary focuses on, which are disease prevention, peace and conflict resolution, water and sanitation, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, and economic and community development. And then they recently just added environment, so we tried to add that as well. We kind of came up with a symbol for each different area of focus. So we put some people in there cleaning up the beach for environment. We added a bird for peace. And then we put the lighthouse above it all with 7 different rays of light, kind of highlighting each individual area. And it was a super fun project. We've been working on it all year. It took a while to get supplies and stuff. And then everybody came together this April, and we all helped put together this piece of art. And then we were able to hang it on the wall here. And I think it turned out really well. If you'd like to check it out, there was little clips in the video, but it is hung just down the hall in the East Campus Student Lounge. I think it turned out pretty well.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'll just say it is portable, so it's not technically a mural, just for all of you looking at district policy. There.
Clever you, right?
Try.
Yep.
So Raina Matson, Newport High School principal. And with me, I'll let you guys introduce yourself.
Shelley Moore, Assistant Principal, Athletic Director, Newport High School.
Nathan Green, Assistant Principal.
And I get the pleasure of doing this every June right after graduation. It's become a tradition now for as long as I can remember. And one of the things that I love about it is I really get to look back at the year and just see all of the incredible things that we've done. It's really hard when Eddie, again, when I was looking at his email and he said that we had 15 minutes total, I thought there's no way that we can talk about it all. So I'm not even going to talk much about what's on my little piece, but I want to talk about a couple other student events that Alexa and Ivan didn't share. So one of the cool things that happened this year, we have a Hispanic culture club that meets, and they fundraise every year for their stoles that they wear at graduation. It's a really big deal for the club. And they wanted to put on a dance for us, and a student dance. And so they planned this whole event, and the week of the dance, they taught us dances during homeroom, and it was so cool. You know, that night at the dance, there was still a few students that were kind of nervous. They didn't want to try the dances. But our last dance of the year, a goodbye dance, they were all doing it. So it took several months for them to gain that confidence. But again, we're just finding, we're finding student leaders everywhere and people, stepping up and wanting to do all kinds of really cool things. And, last week was a super busy week with graduation, and to throw in another event, we had our theater perform on Thursday. So students are just doing things all the time. And it's why I love working at the high school level. I love seeing them just get to do all this kind of cool things. So, we've been able to use homeroom this year for a lot of social emotional community building, which has been incredible. So we were able to teach not only the dances from the Hispanic Culture Club that they wanted to teach, but we taught some line dancing, we taught some swing, we did class competitions, we did some spring service projects, some school cleanups. So that's been an incredible piece for us. And then with the rest of my time, I want to thank all of you for being there. I was at Toledo's graduation, and saw you there, and, having you guys come to graduation, and just the amount of time that you guys give, in particular as volunteers. And then for our district staff, we had so many different district representatives and dignitaries at our graduation. And it was awesome to have them come and stand and just be recognized. So thank you guys for that. And then I also just want to thank Nathan and Shelley, because of all of the amazing things that we have students do. We are here all the time. And so thank you for all that you are
Good thing you
giving
live
up.
close.
So just real quick, the three things on my top part, our behavior data, 85% of our students are in tier 1 for behavior. So we're really proud of that. And we're working on the 11% in tier 2. And Nathan will talk a little bit about that for our attendance students, and then 4% in our tier 3. So that's where we are right now and continuing to work. We did a lot of work this year in our PLC teams, really focusing, Newport Middle talked about the vision for student experience and vision for student learning. And we did a lot of that work through the Center for Educational Leadership. And so that has been the most incredible professional development for me. And Peter Ellingson was able to step up as a teacher leader and do that work. And Melissa Weiss has done a lot with our PLCs. She attended the conference in Arizona. And so our teachers did a lot of peer observations. They all completed 2, some did more. And the picture there is of the math team, and they debriefed together. So even though only one teacher saw another teacher, they debriefed the whole process together. And so they learned a lot from that process together. We hope to do more. And then we are continuing to embed AVID strategies, and the picture there is of one of our more recent staff meetings. And the reason I picked that picture is because our teachers are teaching each other and using AVID strategies and using common vocabulary. So we're really proud of that. So I will let Nathan talk a little bit about some of our attendance campaigns.
Thank you. So yeah, I have the pleasure of leading our tiered teams. So with tier 1, focusing on the whole school, we've done various campaigns throughout the year, whether it's getting to school on time or working on some of those unexcused absences. But what's highlighted here is our tier 2 intervention campaigns. And so that's focusing on students in that 70 to 80% of regular attenders. So we did challenges throughout the year, and to no one's surprise, the one that worked probably the best was food incentives. So we did the ice cream challenge in October, had 14 students that were at that 89%. So the goal was to get them to build some good habits and then get to hopefully 90% or above and then stay there. And so we had 14 students, and most of them were able to meet that 2-week challenge. And then in November, right before Thanksgiving break, we did another 2-week challenge, focusing on 85% to try and raise their attendance. And again, most of the students were able to meet that challenge. And then right before spring break, again, we want to keep students focused as we are heading into break, focusing on the 89%. And then of the 18 that took the spring break challenge, 77 or almost 78% were able to meet that. And so that was major focus this year, was kind of getting our tier 2 interventions up and developing a menu of options. And that's what we hope to expand going into next year, is kind of how we can help students build good habits and then maintain those habits and to stay up in the 90%, because that's what our goal is, 90% or above for attendance. And that's what we wanted to do. So thank you.
Awesome. Anyone have any questions?
Oh, we have
Oh,
one
yeah,
more.
more.
Oh,
Sorry.
Shelley, oh, sorry.
Okay.
The back, okay, the fun stuff,
maybe I have
okay,
questions
the
of
good
Nathan.
picture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What is nice graphs?
Oh, synergy is wonderful.
It
Sorry.
is. I'm super happy and thankful to be here with you and excited to talk about athletics. There's not a lot of spots for collective conversation. So I'm going to give you, I gave you a visual representation of athletics over the last year at Newport High School. And I'm very excited to tell you about them. But first, I wanted to thank you. This year has been full of amazing facility upgrades, including our grandstands.
Yes.
Thank you so very much for that. And the press box at Point of View, among other things, and all the minutia. So it was worth getting through a season of fall of soccer and football outside. And thanks to Nathan and Raina and everybody else for the help with that. And I also wanted to give a thanks to First Student, our facilities department, Sodexo, specifically on the food and custodial side for supporting athletics at Newport High School this year. So I kind of flipped a slogan that might be familiar to you. So I gave you a visual representation of every athlete, every day, future ready, and some picture indicators that I'll kind of talk through with you. So our first one is every athlete. Our goal is that we believe in an inclusive and integrated model for athletic programming that removes barriers and increases access and representation. So the first picture in the top left is a picture of our unified basketball team. We are a unified champion school, which was way before Shelley Moore. It's been a tradition here at Newport for a very long time. At the national level, because we are engaged in competition. Unified means that teams join student athletes with and without intellectual disabilities on the same team. So we have unified basketball. This year we brought in unified softball. We have Special Olympics track and field, Special Olympics volleyball. I project, we have a couple teams that aren't quite done yet, that we will letter all of our unified and Special Olympic athletes letter the same as the rest of them. I project that we will have 18-ish athletes that will have lettered in Special Olympics or unified athletic programming. All of our unified and Special Olympic coaches are part of our coach education program. The next picture is just that we reach every athlete, as we have a lot of diverse athletic programming here, which also includes what I just mentioned, but equestrian and sailing. They are also part of all of our coach education, including an AVID style organizational coach binder that we use. We have ongoing communication, athletic common ceremonies. We've moved back to a season by season model where they're all together and then they break out. It's been so exciting and fun. They're part of our fundraising, our coach development, and our athlete clearance as regular abled athletes. And then our picture on the right is that in 2022, Newport High School became the first high school in Lincoln County to staff a fully dedicated girls wrestling program. We are in our second year of that. We have signed 3 athletes to compete at the NAIA or NCAA level in women's wrestling. There are 7 colleges in Oregon that offer wrestling collegiately, just in Oregon. It's huge. And the OSAA this year, their executive board adopted girls wrestling as a standalone sport. So our teams, our girls wrestling teams, have their own accounts both on the booster side and the high school side. So
Awesome.
that's in every athlete area. Every day, we work to educate all coaches, regardless of professional background, level of program involvement, or team demographic, to provide them with high leverage coaching skills to reach and impact every athlete day in and day out. One tool, and you all have supported, and my lease has advocated for, is our proactive coaching program. It's a nationally recognized athletic educational program with a philosophy for coaches and teams to help intentionally create character-based team cultures on purpose, develop a roadmap for team leadership, evolve confident, tough-minded, fearless competitors by training coaches for excellence and significance. And this includes our unified coaches, our Special Olympic coaches, equestrian and sailing also. The next photo in the middle there is we will have our second annual Newport High School Coaches Symposium. It's a multi-tool purpose. We do it off campus. We bring in some lovely food. We use the new Hatfield Science Center auditorium. It is a piece of our compliance around expectations and rules. However, we dive into coach education there. We use feedback from coaches and in their end of year meetings that I have with them to layer what they feel they need more growth in and what they feel that they are strong in. And then we pick those topics and we teach to, and they're teaching to each other. And this is our community coaches. We are 64% community coaches at Newport High School, and they are teaching each other on really important topics. Some of those, and then materials would go in their binder there. We cover things such as rules, expectations, practice planning, roster development, dynamic warm-up, family communication, referee education, and alumni presence also. And this year, our middle school coaches will be there as well to start working on vertical alignment to our high school programs. And then on the next picture on the right is as a tool, we monitor our academic monitoring of our athletes. So we have weekly, just FYI progress reports on top of our regular grade checks that hold a consequence. This year, our GPA average for the year for all sports, all genders was a 3.4. So pretty good for student athletes. So that was exciting. And we had 7 varsity teams this year finish in the top 10 by gender and sport. So that's what that photo is about. And then future ready category on the bottom there on the left side. Our goal is to design programs that use athletics as a tool to provide skills for life and school, community connection with all of our Newport programs in mind. So the picture on the left is we had our 2nd annual Newport Middle School Sports Expo this year. So it is an opportunity for all middle school students, not just athletes, to have 3 rounds by season with coaches of all of the sports and activities that we have at Newport High School and the middle school. It gives them physical information, they get coach contact information, they get scheduling and calendar for the summer. And then our academic requirements too. We have that in English and
What an
Spanish.
awesome idea.
Thanks. That's fun. Yeah. In the middle, we're also really proud of this. So we took the recognition of our 3 seasoned athletes that compete for 4 years, and we created an Iron Paw program. And so it's a little more comprehensive, building on what Newport High had in place before. It helps connect education to future readiness. It teaches them, so those athletes are learning about grit, commitment, perseverance, and how to manage failure. Sometimes we're afraid to talk about failure, and it's the best part of athletics is to fail and do it again. They earn a graduation cord that they have at graduation. The picture that is there is we're really proud to show you is a plaque made by our CTE students, and they presented those at our sports awards the other night. We had to buy 1 board only for 7 plaques. It was materials that we already had in place. 2 students worked on them, 2 artists, they're both CTE students, one was an athlete, one was not, to sort of send the message that there are a lot of ways to be involved in athletics, and sometimes it isn't competing. So we're really proud of that program. And we had 1 Iron Paw last year, we had 7 this year. So my goal is 20 in 2 years, so we'll see if we get there or not. And there is a small scholarship that our community has donated toward, so to give that out. And then the final one there is Future Ready is just kind of a mindset of growing up Cub and what that means. Fostering a sense of what it means to be a Cub around standards of behavior, character, work ethic, and belonging. This year, some of our programs had a Growing Up Cub event where youth athletes escort and are a part of our athletic events. Next year, each of our varsity programs will have a Growing Up Cub event. They come and sing the national anthem, they'll escort our varsity athletes and just get to belong. So thank you for listening. That's what's up.
Wow, amazing. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. Makes me real excited.
Makes me excited.
Really, really proud.
Thanks for your help. Yep.
All right. Financial reports. Good evening, Kim.
Good evening. Good evening. So I've updated the financial reports through May 31st. On the general fund revenue and expenditure summary, the one thing I want to point out is the blue cell. We received our preliminary high cost disability payment for the year of $1,110,000. I want to point out that that is based on statewide numbers of high cost special ed students. And that number we're not able to budget on that. It's based on a December count. And I did because of the last 2 years, we've gotten substantially more money in our preliminary payment due to the special ed out-of-state placement that we have. I did an analysis of the last 10 years of prior to last year's payment and found that our average over those 10 years was $250,000. So in the past, we have not budgeted for that at all. And again, in this year, it was not budgeted because, again, it is based on the number of special ed high cost students around the state. And
So that can fluctuate, and it's over a 2-year period. So you can see that that number also includes $20,000 for our 21-22 final reconciliation. Some years that's a negative number because things shift around the state over the 2 years. And so we may not be able to retain that full funding. So I just wanted to point those things out. Do you have any questions about that piece?
So Kim, that's in addition to our regular funding,
It is.
and that represents
It,
how many students? Is that a way to look at it?
the number of high cost special ed students. Yeah,
yeah.
it's only those students.
So
And that
that's-
varies,
Yeah,
a lot from year to year. Mm-hmm.
It used to be called the over the cap waiver grant
Mhm.
because you're capped at 11%.
Yeah.
And we spend way more than that on kids with disabilities because that's what we do.
Yeah.
And that was the state's way of trying to come up with some dollars to help districts out. And then a few years ago, it might be a lot of years ago now, they added to that. But it's still proportionately, we are still spending more than what we are given for special education. And that's just the way it is because they don't fully fund special education, neither at the state or the federal level.
right.
So.
And last year, it's like a $55 million pot of money for the state. Last year, that the preliminary payment was 70% of the amount that we anticipate having. This year, it was only 58% for the preliminary.
It fluctuates.
So
You can't
we'll,
count on it.
we'll see how that comes out. The and ADM is holding fairly steady. We have a slight decline, of about three students. On the monthly comparison, just want to remind you that the projection numbers are based on a 6-year average. And so that includes the COVID years. So it's a little skewed from, what you might have seen prior to COVID. And then a lot of these things are just because timing varies on the receipt of property taxes. Particularly this year, it seems like they came in a lot higher at the beginning of the year in November, and we're seeing less come in throughout the year. So that's why those are down. Interest rates again are still climbing. So interest has come in, quite a bit higher than what we budgeted. Any questions on that sheet? On the purchase services comparison, the blue note, I just wanted to note because April was down compared to March, and then May is back up considerably. That's because of the timing of the payment of the ESS sub invoices with them. There's quite a bit of reconciliation that happens with those. And so sometimes those payments are delayed. So that shifted a bit from April into May. You can see down below 114,000 of that was the subs. And then we had a $52,000 payment for dual credit courses at Oregon Coast Community College. And $5,800 for the SLP contract. And almost 12,000 of that was professional development. In our transportation, again, a timing of when we receive the invoices and when we pay them. The last day of the last week of the month, June 2nd, fell on Friday. We pay every Friday. So those payments for the April invoices didn't get in the May financial reports. They'll show up in June. And then every May, we reconcile the charter school payments based on their April ADM. And this year, the charter school rate, the dollars per ADM increased. So there was a little bit of an increase, about 200,000 over what their normal payment would be, had been throughout the month. And that's about what I budget for that every year for the May payments. So that was right in line with what I expected. Any questions on that one?
Special revenue funds, again, the ones with the 3 asterisks are reimbursement grants. So those will normally run in the negative all year because we make the expenditure and then we're reimbursed the following month. Let's see. Outdoor school, that is a reimbursement type grant. We'll spend that money throughout the year. We don't get reimbursed until July.
Again, Kim, I just love it that the way you've got the fund balance was
Yeah.
encumbered, and
Yes.
that's
Indeed.
really,
I said the
really,
same thing.
really useful. to
Much
understand.
clearer.
Yeah,
Much clearer.
And there, on the ones that I didn't do it on, it's just not really
Right.
appropriate
Yeah,
there because
yeah,
they
yeah.
run in the negative all year. Any questions? In special revenue funds? You will note, like, we do have an appropriations transfer request that we gave to the board at the work session for Fund 293 and for Fund 405. Because they were able to, well, we'll explain that later, but you can see that the balances that are there available for expenditure, especially in Fund 293, is $866 now, with all of the encumbrances included. So that shows why we need those. Rich was able to get some of those projects started a little earlier, and the details are on that appropriations resolution for later in the meeting. On the bills and claims, typical monthly expenses, you'll see a lot of just some final billings for the Quinnieview Gym. Those will still, those will continue to come in over the summer. We typically pay this year's invoices through about the middle of August. And that's part of the reason why we don't do June board reports. You'll just get the final financial report at the end of the year. And then the other large item on here is 3F from the bottom, the Oregon Coast Community College. That includes the dual credit payment that I mentioned earlier, and the early college tuition and welding program. Any questions on that
and
page?
Kim, you have like ESS West is a payment on the 26th and on the 5th. That's just the way those payments played out over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those would have been for previous months.
Yeah.
Services. And on the investment report, you can see as normal this time of year, our balances are declining as we're spending down our cash, and the interest rates did climb again slightly. They had held steady for 3 months, but they climbed again. Any questions?
Anyone have any questions for Kim? All right, thank you so much, Kim.
Thank you.
All right. We have a written report from First Student. Right. Somebody here from First Student. Hello, Darlene. How you doing? You guys got to do your bus rodeo, or is it the bus rodeo, or?
We did that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Weekend before last. Yeah, those are always fun.
That's good. I called you that, Kim. I know you're. Anyway.
Yeah, we went to Eugene and we had 5 drivers sign up to compete in the state safety exercise. And we came home with 2 trophies, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
And you know, I volunteered on the course and judged all day, and Darlene stayed in our tent and kept the food coming out for everybody that was there to cheer them on. So it was a good day.
Yeah.
You know, and we're getting down to the end of the year, and you know, all the teachers will go get their rest, and we'll start deep cleaning buses and hitting the streets recruiting drivers. So,
We're let the recruitment begin. Huh?
Yeah,
Or keep
yeah.
Going.
we've got a lot of stuff lined up to do, you know, hanging flyers and banner buses and flea markets and parades, and I think we've got 3 touch-a-trucks coming up. Those are always fun.
Awesome.
So just a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of people that want to get involved. So we're on a good course.
Must be great for morale.
Yeah, it is.
I see that you're having a barbecue and all that. That's great.
Yeah, we've
That's
got
awesome.
you're
Very
invited to
supportive.
Beverly Beach this week or Friday, so we can feed everybody and have a few raffles and play for a day, and then it's back to it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well,
Thank you so
thank you so much. Appreciate you coming to our meetings. Yeah, it's really nice. And your lovely report. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move into board reports. Anyone like to do a report? Cynthia, do you have anything you'd like to report?
It was a very busy couple of weeks. So attended the, in addition to this, I go and play music with the preschool. The award ceremony for Woodward High School, attended that, and end of the year outdoor concert for the elementary school parents. It was beautiful, and our preschool and did the hula dance and sing. I played hula. And in the Woodward graduation was special time, always a special time. And then last night we had the fifth grade, the sixth grade graduation, and then the middle school graduation going on to high school. So it was pretty busy, and tomorrow we have some end of the school year celebration in the elementary school. So looking forward to that.
Special time of year. for sure.
Yes, what I'm finding out, because I was always involved, the role is different now. So you're seeing and listening to your report with different ear, and appreciated.
Yeah.
And please extend it, my appreciation to the student that came tonight. They were, I like hearing that they are using their extra time, their extracurricular to reach out to their community, and that's mean a lot. They're learning a lot. Thank you.
Awesome.
Nothing specific this month.
Okay.
So I got to go to the Eddyville graduation, which is always a wonderful community gathering. And a friend of mine is a teacher there, and her son was the valedictorian, so that was an added bonus. I went to the Compass graduation, and Principal DeVries kindly asked me to hand out diplomas and shake hands with graduates, which is always a joy. I really appreciated that. Thank you so much. I attended the Toledo graduation, and I've just got to say, I'm a little biased, but objectively, I think you can say that the field at Toledo is the most beautiful field in the district. The stadium is great. The trees behind there, the setting is it's just gorgeous. And it was a fantastic graduation. Love that all the teachers wear their own cap and gowns and walk in front of the students. I love that. That's a really unified kind of thing. I went to the play that Nathan Bush had his students do on June 3rd, which was a lot of fun. I attended the Toledo High Senior Awards, which was very joyful for me because I got to work with so many of those students through Aspire, and they all got money to help them with the next stage of their education, which is really important for them. And on June 5th, I think it was, Liz and I attended the Compass Awards, and maybe you can say a little bit more about that, but that's where licensed and classified staff are recognized, and that is just a highlight. Just like graduation, it's a highlight because, as Janice and Trevor noted, there are so many people in our district who are excellent, who contribute to the education of students in the district, and it's just super gratifying to see that. I'm just a round of applause for all of those people. So
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Well, it's been busy. I can't remember, but I've been really busy. And no, the graduations are really a highlight for us on the board. It's really wonderful to see that everyone's hard work, parents, kids, teachers, us right here. It takes everyone to get those kids up there and graduating. And that was amazing to see what these kids are doing and opportunities that are available to them because of our commitment to them. So it was Taft and Newport graduations I attended. And the cool thing about our district, the graduations is really time to showcase what's so specific to your school. And I really like that. And I never want to lose that because that's what makes Lincoln County such a warm, rich school district, because everybody gets to be who they are in their place. And that's really important. We don't want to ever lose that. So it was a good time. And I hope, like Trevor said, everybody has a great, relaxing summer. So thank you. All right. We're going to move along, and you just want to note that this is Dr. Gray's last board meeting. And
Indeed it is.
she's going to eat blue cake and have blue lips all night. So anyway, just really, I'm not going to say too much, but it's been an awesome, just a dream to work with you. I have learned so much as a board member. I can't begin to tell you, and her expertise and her compassion is going to be missed.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You could have waited till the end, but I couldn't.
Thank you so much. I also had the honor of attending 5 graduations, Compass, Taft, Toledo, Walport, Newport. Enjoyed them immensely. I want to welcome Maya Elise Tolan, who is sitting next to me at your next board meeting. She will be superintendent. My last day will be June 30th. And I will work on June 30th because I know me. The pen and dish is from me. Those are my gifts to the board. We also gave engraved pens to the administrators to say goodbye and say thank you. And then I have some other things that are from me. So I took a 2-hour hike with Tim Kaufman of the 36-acre property in South Beach that we were looking at, and got a whole lot of this property is not going to work vibes from that property. So I'm awfully glad the easement issue was so difficult, because I was pulling my hair out on that. And I was glad that happened, because this is not the property for us. So we pulled out of that real estate deal and we got our earnest money back. It was inappropriate land for us. We could never hope to build anything on it. It's got 3 bifurcated canyons that go all the way down 90 feet. So I could go on and on what it would take to fix that, and it's not worth it. Beautiful property, but maybe just for hiking on. Glad to say that we have a tentative agreement with the OSEA that was reached today. They will go to their ratification with the membership, and we'll see how that turns out. If successful, the board would vote on that at their next regularly scheduled meeting. Final goals and measures report. You have that in your packet. It behooves the board and the superintendent and our team at the district level to review the board and superintendent goals every August at the retreat, so that we are continuing the flow of our goals. Our goals are around, number 1, student academic achievement. And there are all kinds of goals and measures that go with that. Also equity and cultural diversity. Also the board's goals, which are around equitable education, the development of a political action committee, looking forward to another bond, hopefully in the next 2 years, and many other items. All of these are in the board packet. Anybody can look at them. We measure them every February. They're 5 pages long. They're very in-depth. And mostly across the board, we have made improvements. They're not perhaps as large as I would like to see, but the direction is very good. And I am really appreciating the K-12 assessment program, the K-12 instructional program, our supervision and evaluation program, our expenditure of resources to buy literacy materials, mathematics materials, science and health materials, professional development, which is crucial to any school district. And looking at the numbers, we are making progress as a school district. And so I'm hoping that we continue along that trajectory now that we have the right people on the right train, on the right track, moving in the right direction, and maybe put on some steam to get us to our destination, which is academic achievement for all. So I'd like to know if you have questions regarding that report.
Anyone have any questions,
No,
comments?
don't. You will really want to examine that with your new superintendent in August and see where you feel comfortable and where you feel to buoy up areas and where you'd like to change areas. But all in all, with attendance, behavior, our district improvement plan, goals of graduation and attendance, K-12, we are making good progress. And I just really hope, I know that Lincoln County School District will continue to do great things for kids. And that's all we want, is great things for kids. If anyone has any questions regarding the June report on our goals and measures, feel free to email me directly and I can find out the answers for you if I don't have them. School program updates. The Compass Online School is going to be a 6 through 12 concentration. We have had a K-12 school for 2 years. We have had our least enrollment in the K-5 section of that school, only about 20 to 25% of our students. And we would really like to concentrate the work with Principal DeVries in the area of 6 through 12 online education, including hybridizing a lot of that online work to include electives, study hall, office hours, CTE experiences, and really building a concentration. Students that are K-5, there are 5 or 10 students per grade. It's just not enough for us to keep the school going in that direction. It was great during COVID because that gave a lot of people a place to go. But right now we are heavily into 6th through 12th grade. And we have 200 students, so that's a lot of kids. We've had good conversation about that. And any student who is K-5 can obviously come back to the brick and mortar school for whence they came, for their area. But also we are so far below our 3% online charter number, which was our goal, was to be way below that number and provide our own education. They are also welcome to apply to one of those. A letter will be going out to families. We just feel like it's the last board meeting of the year. We need to say something. In addition, we are opening a North Area Future Bound Alternative Ed program for 7th and 8th graders. We have had incredible success. That was a program that I started in 2019, actually 2018. Diana McKenzie was the first principal of that school. And for the last 5 years, that has grown in its responsiveness to student need. And we recognize that we need one in the north area. And so we do have funding for that. And we have a program. And what we are doing is replicating the success of that program in the north area. And, kids can have, that'll free up spots in the Newport Middle School program for more kids from other areas that need it. And eventually kind of reminds me of Open Meadow in Portland, where I spent a long time alongside that school, not in that school, but alongside that school. Sometimes there's some expansion as well into the 6th grade and the 9th grade. So just some future thoughts about meeting the needs of all students, making sure everybody has a menu of options that they can meet their needs right where they're at. And we've been very, very fortunate with a very successful program at Newport Middle. Are there questions regarding the reconfiguration of Compass Online School, which remember is not a charter school and is not an alternative ed school, and our future bound alternative education school in the north?
Do you have any idea of attendance or how many kids do you expect in the Taft area for the future bound or?
Not sure yet. Looking at it, they had 8 slots that they could come down when we were combined down in one area, but it's a long drive for
Yeah.
kids who live in North Otis to get down to Newport. So I think Garen is in here. So we've talked with Nick Lupo and then Aaron Baloney on what that transition will look like to make sure that we don't jump into it without a trained staff member for how we can build that program. I think that was an error we learned from in the original
Yes.
Future Bound moment that we hired a great teacher, but they hadn't had that experience of what that would look like. And so we're very lucky to have Leanne at Newport Middle's Future Bound program to be able to help guide that work and roll it out correctly. So it also isn't in as large of a spot as we first start this program up there. So just capacity wise, fire code, we would be at a different number up in the north area as well, but really want to make sure that we do it right for the kids and for the staff that are hired for that position.
I was really excited to read that today, that was going to
Mhm.
happen. So I think it's awesome.
I think it's moving
just-
in the right direction, giving something to everybody.
Feeding taking care of the needs of all students. And
That's the point.
Yeah, thank you.
That's our mantra, every student, every day, future ready.
All right.
That's my report. Thank
Anyone
you.
have any questions for Dr. Gray? Okay, moving right along. We'll move on to the consent calendar, which has a personnel action. You guys have all had that in your packet. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar as published in this month's board agenda. Do I have such a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. I have a first and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. So moving on to action items.
Yes, ma'am.
We have an appropriations transfer. I think we've talked about this at
Last meeting.
last meeting, so we'll go ahead and take action on it right now. At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution 2022-23-6 for the appropriations transfer as published in the June 13th board folder.
This was discussed at the work session.
Yeah, it was. So do I need the amount in the motion, Kim? Or does it just need to say appropriations transfer? Okay.
It's referred to in the number of the resolution.
Okay, all right, thank you. Just want to make sure
Yes.
we do it the right way, so we don't have to come back to it, so. All right, at this time, I would entertain a motion to accept the appropriations transfer 53-23. Do I have such a motion?
I will move that we approve resolution 2022-2023-6 for the appropriations transfer as published in the June 13th, 2023 board folder.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any conversation? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Moving right along here, we have facilities and maintenance services. We're going to be talking about Sodexo Food Services. Again, these are contracts that we saw in the May board folder. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the Sodexo Food Services contracts starting July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024, as published in the board folder. Do I have such a motion?
I make the motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you. Motion and second. Any conversation? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nay? Motion passes. Thank you. Move on to the transportation contract. We did talk about this one, didn't we? In May,
We did, we talked about all.
all
three
of them.
these.
Okay, so this,
One's a contract and two are renewals.
okay. So this would be a renewal. Thank you for pointing that out with first student. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the first student transportation contract starting July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024, as published in the board folder. Do I have such a motion? Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? None opposed. Motion passes. Thank you very much. Moving to custodial services with Sodexo. I would entertain a motion to approve the amendment to the Sodexo custodial contract effective July 1, 2023, as published in the board folder. Do I have such a motion?
I make a motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. And again, I know that what looks like we went right through them, but these have all been discussed at last board meeting and questions were asked. And so we're very comfortable in making these motions and contracts, and appreciate the fine work of the contractors that we work with. Thank you. Okay. So now I'll go ahead and move to board and designation of district office and Compass K-12 online school. Is someone presenting this?
Yeah, so we were going to remind her after we do this item
Okay,
that we actually don't have an item.
yeah.
It says vote on budget
you.
on our agenda.
I was gonna remember.
That one, but it's okay. We want
Okay.
you to do what you're doing and then
Okay.
we'll get on to.
Okay, so this motion, it has come to our attention that the board needs to vote to designate the physical location of two of our facilities. So at this time, I will entertain a motion to declare the Teaching and Learning Center as a district's admin office located at 1212 Northeast 40th Street, Newport, and also declare 1811 Northeast Arcadia. It's been a long night. Drive in Toledo as the location of our Compass Online School.
It's
So,
just locations. We have
it-
to designate them.
okay, so does everyone understand the designations?
I understand it, but have we designated Newport High School at this particular location? Do we have to do it for every facility that we have?
So the assumption is we have already done that
Yep.
in all cases.
Yeah,
You're welcome to ask your assistant to check on that. And at this point, we know for a fact that we have not designated the TLC, and we know we have not designated Compass Online School as to their exact locations. So every other school should be designated. We just know these two need to be.
and this is a state requirement?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Okay. Well,
Weird.
I would say maybe it's the first time I've seen it on the agenda, but.
And no
you know,
wonders never see.
Yeah, anyway, so hey, it looks great to me. So, anyway, great. So at this time, I'd entertain a motion to get the mail at these addresses.
And the bill.
Yeah,
And the
whatever
bills.
comes. So do I have such a motion? Thank you, Megan. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Please pick up the mail. Any opposed? No. Okay, thank you. We have an address.
Chair Martin, we appear to have misplaced our vote on the budget.
Oh my God.
I have no idea
I
how.
got it right.
So it's C2, thank God for my office who wrote me a little note. Vote on
C2.
it.
Oh, by the way, yeah.
Yeah, oh, by the way, so there must be something for you to read the resolution, I would assume.
Yes.
Thank you.
Um,
Sorry about that.
Sorry, we would not have forgotten.
No, we would not have forgotten. Tim wouldn't let us. That's for sure. That's hilarious.
So, so I'm trying to find what I say to, at this time, I would entertain a motion to accept resolution 2022/237 adopting the budget, and I am going to read most of it.
Yeah.
Um,
most of it.
Okay, so this is what we need to do to make sure that it's done correctly. Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of Lincoln County School District hereby adopts the budget for fiscal year 2023-24 in the amount of $161,032,402,000. Now on file at the District Administration Office at 1212 Northeast Fogarty Street, Newport, Oregon, and the district website www.lincoln.k12.or.us. Being it resolved that the amounts for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2023, and for the purpose shown below are appropriated. Total adopted budget is $161,032,402. That would be the general fund of $4,940,000, special revenue funds of $417,000, debit service fund of $11,699,000. Be it resolved that the following ad valorem property taxes are hereby imposed for the tax year 2023-24 upon the assessed value of all taxable properties within the district. Number one, at the rate of 4,000 or 4.9092 per $1,000 of assessed value for permanent rate tax in the amount of $6,384,784 for debit service for general obligation bonds. Be it resolved that the taxes imposed are hereby categorized for purposes of Article 11, Section 11B as subject to the education limitation permanent tax rate 4.9092 per 1,000 and excluded from limitation general obligation bond debit service of $6,384,784. Furthermore, the Board of Directors of Lincoln County School District hereby directs the superintendent to implement the 2023-24 budget as adopted, adjusting as necessary for date information. Do I have a motion to adopt this resolution number 2022/2023-7?
Can you please read that again?
Not gonna happen. Too many big numbers.
I so move.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. A lot of hard work and went into this budget, so it's good to laugh right now. Thank you very much. It's cool. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Resolution 2022-23-7 is hereby approved and declared and adopted this 13th day of June 2023. This resolution, the specific appropriations by function can be found in the June 13th, 2023 board folder published on our website. Thank you. Ooh, but we only have to do that once a year. So are we good, Kim? Awesome. Thank you. I really wouldn't have forgot you, but
No.
maybe no. Okay, all righty. So we're,
Otherwise, we'd be meeting again this month.
yeah, no, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, moving right along here,
Yep.
we are, Mr. Rich, come on up. Hey, wake up. Okay.
So last month I talked to you about going out for bids for the Holly Farm for a grading of, and it's about a 215,000 yards of material to grade and level plus an outfall to fix. Really happy that we had 7 bidders. 3 of them were really close. 2 of them were actually 3 bidders were from Lincoln County. The first bidder, Kerr Contractors, didn't fill out their forms that they needed to first tier form. It wasn't a mistake. When I called the guy and asked him what's going on, he said, changed his mind. He didn't want the job. And it's not because of money, because he's really close. So the second bidder is RK Construction in Lincoln City. Their price was $1,897,000. There's about $122,000 that we'll take out of that. It was optional. And basically it's doing inspections and stuff like that, that we should have an independent party doing, watch what we're doing. I'm real happy with the prices. I didn't know where we'd be. It was, I didn't know if we'd get any or if we'd get some that we just couldn't even afford. But this puts us in a position that we could go to DEQ and apply for a 1200C permit, which to move this kind of material, you have to get a permit, and it has to be, every time it rains, somebody has to walk the properties. It's called a Cecil. We have 2 of them. We sent guys to school for, Riley Heiner and Ron Slane in Lincoln City would monitor the project. So my feeling is that we should award the contract to RK Construction with several caveats. One of them is we put out the 7-day appeal period so that anybody else that bid who didn't agree could appeal to the board. The second caveat is a big one, is that we'll have the financing to be able to do this. And then we would have either our attorney or our contract, we have come up with a contract and have it reviewed by our attorney to be sure that we have that in there. And we'd have 2 spots that we could look at. One would be December. We'd give a report to the contractor that, hey, we're on everything looks good. We're going to be ready to go. We want to do this. And then a final one would be March of 24. I think our really target would be December 1st, so that we could give them some notice, so we don't tie up somebody's time for the summer and then decide by that time, that gives us almost 5 months from now to figure out where we're at. And I think that will make our business manager feel a little more comfortable where we're at. In part of this project, will be a part of it is a outfall for the all the water on the property and where everything goes out. There's a little retainment pond. There's going to be some a little riprap put in for a wall that this is all designed by our geologist and our engineer to do it. The property will be compacted. We'll have somebody there to test it all the time. The geologist will come over and monitor it and train somebody local. We'll get somebody local to do most of the monitoring, so that we don't have to pay somebody from the valley to come over here and stay and be there every day. And that was their recommendation too, because they really don't have anybody that they want to put on the project for that long period of time. I think it's a really good opportunity for us. I've given you a timeline that if we do this, it would start in probably May, be completed. Then we could start thinking about doing a master plan. In the meantime, we can be talking to the people in Lincoln City about annexation, and do we want a school, and what kind of a school, and what grades would it be? And if we did that, what would we do with what we? There'll be a lot more things to consider. One question I was asked by somebody was, what if we do this and we don't pass a bond? This will just make our property more valuable. It'll be developable. We got sewer and water just a few feet away. So yeah, I don't think we're hurting ourselves. We'll be making money for the future. And hopefully it will take place in one of our schools and make a lot nicer place for kids to learn.
Rich, what did we pay for the property?
We paid, I actually looked today because we talked about that. We paid $850,000. So we were all wrong.
Yeah, we're all wrong.
Yeah. I said 750 and
I
others.
said 1 million.
Yeah, so we,
We're
but
in the middle there.
but it was actually 850.
That's 54 acres.
Yeah.
And the area that we're looking at developing is around 18 acres.
It's we'll get a little more out of that when being the positive, when we build a school there, there'll be material come out for the foundations and footings. And we got 2 areas that we're kind of targeting that we may be able to use for some form of fields or something like that, that we could use for something else. Got lots of ideas, just have to have them to come to fruition over a period of time. It's something I feel like we're really lucky to get this price. And I think it's something we should do.
All right.
Rich, are you looking for a vote tonight?
If it's not, it wasn't on there for a vote, but if you could, it would really help our program and move us along.
So do you want to vote for the leveling?
Yeah, subject to, I'd like to vote to accept RK's bid, subject to the 7-day appeal period, subject to funding, and subject to us developing a contract that our business office and lawyer will approve. Did I miss anything, Karen?
So did this include what we had talked, or you'd mentioned earlier about the grading and?
Yeah, the outfall's about $350,000,
Mhm.
and we'll probably do that this year. And we'll piggyback off this contract to be able to do that.
Yeah, so that's included in this arcade.
That's not included in there.
So
but
is
it's
that a
just
separate one?
Yeah, it's a separate, well, we'll make a separate contract with them, but we won't do that unless we get the whole thing figured out.
So tonight you're asking for a contract to award to RK Construction.
Yep,
That's
subject to those 4 things. Yes,
Okay.
And just to be clear, their bid was like 1.8,
yes,
Correct.
and we're looking another $350,000 that we will pay them for the outfall.
that's
portion.
right.
Okay.
Their bid, we'll actually lower their bid by about 122,000. We'll end up spending that money,
Right,
but we'll just do it in a different way.
right. Another.
So you don't need
Yeah.
a separate.
No, we
Okay,
don't.
all right. I just want to make sure we are
Thank
understanding.
you for helping.
What we don't want to do is have 2 different companies doing the same work on the same property. Because that will engender, if something goes wrong, one company to blame the other company.
Yeah.
And then we can't get anywhere with it. Just also want to point out that the $350,000 for the outfill, which must get done. And what's called the 1200C permit that needs to go with that. Those have to be done. They're not things that you can put off. And we believe that there is a way through the funds that we have to be able to afford that right now. The 1.8 million, you're gonna have to figure out. And there are things you can do in your current budget that you just passed to be able to look at for those funds within the special revenues. Not your general regulars, but your special revenues, and I really adjure the board and the lieutenant to look at this.
Okay. All right. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to accept the contract from RK Construction with the following caveats, subject to a 7-day appeal, subject to funding. Did I forget something?
Subject to a contract with.
Subject to a contract.
If
Done.
you don't mind if I interrupt you
No,
just a moment.
go ahead.
I think that you need 2 votes, because this is not on the agenda. My opinion would probably be just to make sure that you are really, really in the right zone, you ask the board for a vote to vote on this and then you vote on it. Because you're adding it to the agenda.
Okay,
It's making.
all
me
right.
nervous.
Do you guys understand that? Because it wasn't already on the agenda,
The public
at this
has not
time,
seen that
at
as
this time, I want to talk to the board about getting motion passed to put this on the agenda so we can vote on it. So I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse.
If you don't mind.
So does that make sense? So I need to have approval to go ahead and put it on the agenda tonight to be able to vote on it.
It was important to vote on it tonight as opposed to next month.
Yeah, it helps us with the 1200C permit, and it takes about 60 days to get one of those. So we're now in middle of June, would probably be the middle of August, and we want to get this done before the rainy season. And another month could put us out close to the 1st of October, and we could be
So you think you can get the outfall work done in
in
August?
about a
September,
month, yeah.
October?
Yeah,
Yeah.
last August, first part of goal will be done and seeded by the 1st of October.
Okay, so
And don't let it start raining the 1st of September.
does everyone understand that I need a motion to be able to put it on the agenda? So at this time,
I made a motion to
okay,
put
thank you.
this
Giselle.
in.
Thank you very much, Cynthia. Appreciate that.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. So we will now go ahead and entertain a motion to accept the bid from RK Construction, subject to the following caveats: 7-day appeal period, subject to funding and
Subject to acceptable contract.
an acceptable contract. Thank you. I can write that
Do
down.
we
With our
want to
attorney.
include the drop dead deadlines? also?
Yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be good to put in there.
You
Yeah.
want to go ahead and add those? Do you?
Yeah, so it's a preliminary deadline of the 1st of December 23 and a final drop dead deadline of March 1st, 2024.
Okay, thank you. I can find my paperwork. I wrote that down. Got that, Eddie? Yeah, okay, good. We got it too. So, all right. Anybody need a clarification on the motion? All right, so I'd entertain a motion at this time. As stated. The following caveats as we stated.
I so move.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Rich.
Thanks.
Thanks for your work.
I have one more item on I gave you a facilities maintenance report, kind of the things we're gonna do this summer.
Yeah.
I don't need to talk about it. If you have any questions, I'll answer them. If you don't, I'm done.
Looks like you're busy, as always. Thank you, Rich.
Yep.
Really appreciate your work. Very nice.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you so much. General public comments to the board. Don't see any. We have a draft annual organizational resolution. Is for information, and we will talk about it in the July meeting. And that will be declaring Miley's Tolan as the new superintendent. So that's the exciting time. Just some reminders for everyone. We have no work session in June. July, our organizational meeting is July 11th at 5 o'clock via Zoom. Lincoln County School District keynote speaker on August 23rd. 30th. Okay, so that's the 30th. Okay.
When do teachers report back? Couple of days before that.
Yeah, that Monday before.
Yeah.
New teachers are the.
Mhm. We will have a board meeting in August on the 8th at the TLC. And the board retreat is August 18th, 9 to 5 at Salishan. And first day of school, September 5th. So bingo, there goes the summer. So anyway, and I'm just going to open it up. Then Cynthia, you have any comments you want to add tonight's meeting?
Thank you, Karen,
Thank you, Karen.
and welcome, Miley's. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for the hard work. And just watching the graduation this week make all what we're doing worthwhile. That we all agree in the way we do things. It's all for the success of our children, and I appreciate the work you do. Thank you.
Thanks, thank you. Megan?
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm good, thank you. And welcome.
Yeah, it's been awesome, great transition and appreciate everybody staying to the end of the show here tonight. But now, all these things that we're passing tonight, I want you to know they're very important. A lot of work went into these contracts and the people that we do work with. I really want to say thank you for students at EXO and so but as it gets later in the night, I think it gets kind of long, but anyway, we'll we'll see Karen through the end of the month. Yeah, see you around. I'm pretty excited for her. And like I said, welcome to my Elise. Anyway, would you like to say anything, Karen?
Oh, I just appreciate all the opportunities I've been given here in the county school district. It's a great place to end your career, and I feel like I did everything I hoped to do. Had a great team. I'm super happy about the trajectory of the district and it's on its way. And just grateful for the friendships, the opportunity to meet people, to work with people. Such a great group of people. And I couldn't be more delighted with the fact that there will be a very easy transition with my Elise. You are lucky as a school district to have such a good board, to not have crazy people on your board, to have people who actually love and support the superintendent, because you have no idea what's out there right now. And you have a board that really cares about kids and wants the best for kids. And when all is said and done, we're here for the kids, everybody in this room right now. And that's what it's all about. So I feel like I've just been the lucky one to be able to work with such beautiful people. Thank you for the opportunity.
Amazing.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Iris?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
No, I just, the last couple months being with Karen has been, I'm a big Yankee fan, and when Derek Jeter retired, everywhere he went, like every stadium put on a whole event for him, and I feel like that's what it's been like in meetings the last couple months. It's statewide meetings and everything, every one of them, people just thank Karen for how much she has taught them across the state and in country meetings that we've been in as well. So we have been very lucky, and I feel very lucky for the last couple months to be in a position to transition in this way and then to work here in Lincoln County with the staff that we have. Every single staff member, I think it's just a great place. So thank you, Karen, for all you have done for us.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And with that, meeting's adjourned. I don't know why.
Yes.